Welcome to Nivalis, traveler. Best not to stay out in the cold too long. This is Nivalis, traveler. Are you looking for services or someone in particular? The egg mining city of Akamora is located in the southern reaches of the Mephilan Vales. Tharamu is a dark elf village south of Nivalis, sitting in the middle of Althoa Isle. It's a dreary little place. I don't think there are any Dwemer ruins on Althoa, but a ship called Northern Wind stopped by Nivalis recently. Their crew said they were en route to some old ruin in the sea east of here. Firewatch is a large imperial city on the mainland, far south of here. Most of the Empire's notables in Telvannis district can be found there. This is suitable. One of those dreadful orc reavers was taken alive in Nolubal Bay. He's now under lock and key in the dungeons of Icebreaker Keep. The vast necropolis of Necrom lies on a peninsula on the east coast of Morrowind, and is the final stop of Velok's Path, Morrowind's largest road. It is of deep significance to every dark elf in this land, less so for us Outlanders. Nolubal Bay is the wide stretch of water that lies south of Althoa, between the island and the mainland. The bay is renowned for its rough seas and foggy weather. The Orlu Plantation is a small crop farm east of Tel Awada. Tel Rivas is a Telvanni tower on the southern end of Althoa. It grows from the ancient Dunmer stronghold of Anvarian, which has been garrisoned with Telvanni retainers. Anvarian is the ancient stronghold on the southern end of Althoa. Some new Telvanni megalord grew a tower out of it, so now everyone started calling the place Tel Rivas. This is the island of Althoa. It's the northernmost inhabited island in Morrowind province.
Welcome to Arvud, an oasis of trade and respite in these hostile ashlands, Outlander. Are looking for a specific place or someone in particular, or maybe you're interested to hear the latest rumors.
Where did I put that?
This is suitable. I see you've taken a shine to Arvud, and why wouldn't you? Our trading town is the only place worth visiting in this wasteland. Ashlanders of the Ishanoran tribe live a meek existence of hunting and herding in the heart of the Arman wasteland. Yes, you are in Arvud now. Are you looking? Fort Ancylus is the Imperial Legion garrison on a cliff by the Inner Sea, just east of the village Tane. Rojana Jadis is the commandant of the fort, while its renowned battle mage Cathelamar is the second in command. Atraban Diras, the alchemist, hasn't been in his shop for a while. Everyone wonders if he's sick. Most beasts in the wild don't prey on their own. You wouldn't expect it, but that even goes for cliff racers. If you're planning to stay a while around a spot, take what you need from the kills but leave the carcasses right there to rot. Might deter others from swooping in, at least for a time. None of the Uvain family members have been the same since Sergio Ormas Uvain, the head of the family, disappeared in the Arman Ashlands, but it affected Falara Uvain the most. The young lady still holds on to the hope that her father might be alive.
Have you won the fight for House Telvanni in Shishi? I am glad to hear that Fav's Andus is safe. Perhaps this will keep House Redoran from making any other unwise decisions. Vardenfell has plenty of land for all three great houses. I have prepared for you a silver staff of war, another tradition gift of House Telvanni. Yes, you are more than qualified for Spellwright. You are qualified for Wizard, but you must first build a stronghold. For matters regarding your tower, you should speak with Lunella Hlaran at the Telvanni Council House in Sadrith Mora. She's in the Hermitage at the Telvanni Council House in Sadrith Mora. I do not have any chores for you at this time. You have done all that I would expect of a mouth. Find out what you need for advancement and speak with me again.
I'm Teredas, Chief of Master Arian's Mercenary Guard, Providing for the prosperity of Telvos and the village is my trade. And from the looks of you, adventuring is yours. If you are an adventurer, would you be interested in a little work? I'm Teredas Talanian, Chief. We've been trying to establish trade links with the Zainab. Master Arion thinks that shared self-interest will make the Zainab more careful about offending Telvos. But dealing with the Zainab is tricky, requiring knowledge of the Ashlanders, a silver tongue, and sharp wits. I'll pay you 100 drakes to visit the Zainab camp and find out what goods the tribe would be interested in trading for. Will you take the job? Good. When you've determined the trade goods wanted by the Zainab, report back to me. When we know the trade goods wanted by the Zainab, we hope to engage them in trade as a step towards establishing better relations with them. I am Teredas Talanian, warrior and lawman of the great house Telvanni. Our civilization has brought peace and prosperity to all Tamriel. We place our faith in hard work, education, and discipline. We prefer free trade and diplomacy, but are not ashamed to use force. Zainab Camp is southwest of the village of Voss, near the foothills of Red Mountain. Here, let me mark it on your map. Head southwest across the grazelands until you strike the foothills. Then head south, keeping the foothills on your right. When you pass the Dwemer ruins of Ninchuleft on the western edge of the grazelands, you'll cross an east-west road. Zainab Camp is 8 or 10 yurts east of the hills and south of that road. About 50% of Vardenfell's inhabitants are Dunmer. The other half are Redguard, Breton, Nord, Altmer, Dunmer, Bosmer, Imperial, Khajiit, Argonian, and Orc in roughly equal proportion. If you were to ask me for the model of a warrior, I'd have to say Miles Gloriosus. He's at the Andus Trade House in Margan right now, on a crusade to kill off all the monsters sneaking through the ghost fence, but he always has time to talk with an admirer. At first it seemed the fuss about the Nerevarine prophecy was just silly superstition. Then I learned that the Dunmer have been waiting for Lord Nerevar to come back for centuries. The Incarnate, they call it. Every few years an Ashlander appears and the tribes call him the Incarnate. Then the temple goes out, hunts him down, and reveals him as a fake. Why does the temple worry so much about it?
I am Asher Dan. I am the trader here at Zainab Camp. So, you want to know the trade goods wanted among the Zainab? I can tell you what I think. Yes, that may be some help. Trade goods we have in plenty. What, does the Outlander think we are savages? Because we do not have the things the settled people have. Big buildings, heavy furniture. We have no use for this trash. And do we need to dress ourselves in foolish clothes and stand about with fancy weapons to feel like men? Ha! But of course you do not know the Ashlanders. It is not your fault. Outlander. Mazte is a local beer brewed from fermented salt rice. Cheap, plentiful, and invigorating, this beverage is very popular, despite its dulling effect of wit and judgment. For the price, folks are willing to feel dumb and weak-willed, so long as they feel really strong. The native Cumberry wine is locally called Shine. Shine is a strong stimulant, but using it results in impaired judgment. You may gain a lot of endurance, but you won't be very smart. Skooma is an illegal narcotic substance made from refined moon sugar. Criminals use it as a kind of currency. They say it makes you fast and strong, but clumsy and stupid. Of course, I want nothing to do with it. The local Dunmer liquor, Sujama, is extremely potent, and indulgence results in elevated spirits and diminished mental faculties. Has a kick like a guar, very strong, and just as stupid. Telvanni Bug Musk is an expensive perfume made from the scent glands of Grazeland's beetles. The substance is sold in sealed flasks and appears as a dark red-brown paste. The subtle but compelling fragrance is attractive to all mortal races and all sexes. Even a barbarian can be persuasive wearing this perfume. I am Asher Dan, the trader. I told you we need nothing. I am a trader, a general merchant. I buy and sell a little of everything. Weapons, armor, clothes, books, miscellaneous items of all kinds. Take a look around. Let me know what you want. Or if you have things you'd like to sell, let me take a look at them, and I'll give you a price. We know of the Nerevarine prophecies. We have also heard that an outlander comes to fulfill these prophecies. Perhaps you are that outlander. Perhaps not. Carry good, nourishing food. When you stumble wearily into trouble, eat and refresh yourself so you will fight well. Everyone knows the people who worship Mehrunes Dagon have returned to Indoranion. It is none of our business, and they are very unpleasant if disturbed. They stay in the dark and do not bother us or our herds. We are nomads living in camps of small, portable huts. We travel from place to place, build our camps, then move on to find new grass for our herds and new ranges for hunting.
You wish to ask me about the trade goods wanted by the Zainab. Ask, and I shall answer. So you come to ask me about the trade goods wanted by the Zainab. Perhaps I should ask you why you want to know. But perhaps I already know why. The Mage Lord Master Arion is shrewd. He thinks to bind us to Telvanni ways by binding us to Telvanni things. But I see no harm, and much good, in giving you an answer. We need more cure common disease and cure blight disease potions. Our men travel long distances, hunting and herding, and when they catch diseases, which they often do, they are too busy or too proud to hurry back to camp for my cures. So if we could give them potions to carry with them, they could cure themselves. You roof-loving people are better at some things than our people, and bottling magic is one of them. There are 16 common diseases: outlander, rock joint, hell joint, whitbane, chills, serpiginous dementia, green spore, dampworm, rust chancre, droops, ataxia, wither, swamp fever, collywobbles, brown rot, yellow tick, rattles. The healers of the settled peoples divide them into 3 kinds: mild, serious, and acute. Serious and acute are more dangerous, of course, but none of them are fatal. But you must get them cured, or they weaken you, and people won't want to talk to you. Tusi is our healer. You'll find her in her tent. You are generous, and your judgment is good. Go around trouble, leave it behind you, then return later when you can give trouble a big surprise. I sell potions and spells, charms and marvels, and I can teach some of what I know if you can pay. Swamp fever is a mild common disease affecting the victim's strength and behavior. Symptoms include high body temperature and delirium. It may be contracted from the mud crab. We are nomads living in camps of small, portable huts. We travel from place to place, build our camps, then move on to find new grass for our herds and new ranges for hunting.
I'm Teredas Telanian, Chief of Master Arion's Mercenary Guard. Thank you for your report. So you think cure common disease and cure blight disease potions would be valuable trade goods? That makes sense? Master Arion will be pleased. He can produce such potions very easily. Well done. Here's your 100 drakes with my thanks. I'll tell Master Arion how you've handled this. I think he'll be pleased. And here, you'll find this amulet handy when visiting Telvanni wizards.
Are you here to discuss your stronghold? Yes, I can build you a tower of your own mouth. First, you must acquire a construction contract from Duke Vidam Dren. Then you bring me 2 strong souls to form the foundations of your stronghold. House Telvanni has expanded too quickly. We have allowed our young and ambitious to build unauthorized bases all across Vardenfell. To avoid trouble with the Grand Council, you should make your stronghold official. Only Duke Vidam Dren in Ebonheart can issue construction contracts. Here, take these grand soul gems. Fill them with the souls of a suitable Daedra. The best souls to use are Storm Atronachs, but more powerful Daedra, such as Winged Twilights and Golden Saints, will work as well.
Intruder! Who dares venture so deeply into the halls of Rim Hull? The mantle of woe is mine, do you hear? I have claimed the robe and its power. You're too kind. I can't refuse such a friendly... You are generous, and your judgment is good. They say Spriggans die 3 deaths. Best to avoid them if I were you. If you're ever out walking, admiring the trees, and trees start chasing you, well, those are probably Spriggans. They say there's pirate treasure buried somewhere on the island. Been here for 100 years, and nobody's ever found it. If you want to stock up on supplies, you'd best take the boat back to Vardenfell. You'll find plenty of armor and weapons on Solstheim, but little else. This island is littered with ice caves, barrows, and standing stones. There are no roads, though, so you'll have to walk through the wilderness to get anywhere. Try Fort Frostmoth, the Skal village, or Thirsk. That's always a good place to start. Behold the vestments I now wear. When I read the old stories, I had to learn the truth. Could it be that an item of such grand magicka lies so close at hand, in the caves beneath my very village? I could contain my eagerness no longer, and jumped into the well. I braved Rimhull's dangers, and at last my efforts were rewarded. Soon the dead shall walk, and Timval the Dark shall lead them. Fool! Such power cannot be shared. I alone wear the mantle of woe. I alone am master of the dead. I shall slay you and add your corpse to my ranks.
Glory and honor, Emperor and Empire.
Vadam Dren, Duke of Vardenfell. I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Welcome to Ebonheart, Outlander. I am Vadam Dren, Duke of Vardenfell. Welcome to Ebonheart, Outlander. You are generous, and your judgment is good. I am Lord Vadam Dren, Duke of Ebonheart and Vardenfell. It will be difficult to overcome the Dunmer's lingering resentment of imperial occupation. Ironically, it is now, in the face of the menace of Dagoth-Ur and Red Mountain, that we have a great opportunity to unite natives and colonists against a common threat. When the Dunmer fights side by side with outlanders like you against the hosts of Dagoth-Ur, our common peril and purpose must unite us. I am a noble, a leader and diplomat. We have grown too complacent about the threat of Dagoth-Ur and Red Mountain. For ages we've relied on the Tribunal to contain the menace, but Dagoth-Ur's power is waxing as the Tribunal's power is waning. The Legion garrisons here are insufficient to protect our settlements, and there's no hope for reinforcements. Our people have always relied on a charismatic leader to rally squabbling factions against a common foe. Now would be a good time for such a leader to emerge. Orvus Dren is my brother. I don't know what you've heard of him. I won't defend everything he's done, but don't become his enemy. Yes, he is my brother. Don't make enemies. If someone is determined to be your enemy, then fight. But do not turn friends or potential friends into enemies through arrogance or carelessness. I am not sure if I should issue you a contract. Vardenfell faces many threats today. I will grant you a contract if you vow to do what you can for my people. That is good enough for me. Take this contract, use your stronghold for the defense of my people, and as an aid in your fight against our enemies.
A warm welcome to you. Are you here to discuss your stronghold? Do you have the construction contract and 2 strong souls? Yes, I will use these souls to begin construction of your stronghold. Construction on your stronghold will begin soon. I cannot advance you to Spellwright. You must speak with your patron, Master Arian. You have brought me the soul gems. The power in these souls will strengthen your stronghold's foundations and help the tower grow. Yes, I am Lunala. I am the stronghold builder for House Telvanni.
I don't offer services to anyone. You are generous, and I don't offer services to anyone.
What? Where are we? Who are you? My name is Isadora Billette. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Share your thoughts, friend. I enjoy the company.
Yes, that's me. How did you know that? How did you come to be outside of space? It's a complex device. I'm sure you'd find its operation very interesting, but, well, do you know the 8 principles of Daedronic entanglement? Perhaps you should do some background research before we have a conversation about the Balrog then. Apologies, but I'm rather disoriented. You're a Mages Guild peak rank, that's good to know. And you're in league with Mars for Thor? That's even better to know. When you have everything you need from here, could you summon him to pull us out? The sooner I leave this place, the better. Back home, at long last, it doesn't seem like very much time has passed. I don't think I'd ever like to be outside of space again, peak rank. That was some impressive work, slaying Nelgirion. I think he must have been one of Manimarco's creatures from the time of the warp in the west. He was strong, that's for sure. We fought for what felt like days before he overpowered me. But that's all done now, and what was lost is lost forever. Unless, wait, how did you reach me? You could only have done so by the same means I did, so how did you cast Passwarp? So, you reached the place outside of space by means of the Ornday's Ansend amulet. Tell me, do you still have it? Will you give it to me? Thank you. It is as I thought. Some enchantment yet lingers in its heart. It is fractured and time-worn, and you put it to hard use rescuing me. But this spell and I, well, by now we are old friends. If I just... Yes, I know it now. Here, I shall teach it to you. This is Passwarp. The Mages Guild appreciates the duties you've done, but you simply do not meet our requirements for next peak rank. When you cast it, simply touch a wall in front of you. Some walls may be too thick for the spell to penetrate, and it is disrupted by ethereal light. Perhaps a lingering side effect of the magic which warped it, so it won't work outside. But I'm sure you can find a use for it.
What was that about?
Speaking, what you need. I am Isadora Ballet of the In Narcissus district. I'd rather not linger on it, peak rank. I'm still thinking about being trapped inside of that awful crystal.
May you find me worthy of your attention. Are you here to discuss your stronghold? Yes, I want you to check on your stronghold, which is being built on the alleged site of Uverith's grave. I will mark it on your map. Go there and speak with Gashnak Gra Mughal, the foreman in charge of constructing your stronghold.
You hear about your tower? Tell Lunala Hlaren things are fine here. The work will be done soon. I'm the foreman here at Tel Uverith. I keep the workers in line and make sure the job gets done, though these mushrooms just about grow themselves.
Are you here to discuss your stronghold? I am pleased to hear that the mushroom is growing so well. Thank you for keeping me informed. Your stronghold should finish its first stage of growth in a few days.
Nerevar Reborn, Incarnate. Your first 3 trials are finished. Now 2 new trials lie before you. Seek the Ashlander Ashcans and the Great House Councillors. 4 tribes must name you Nerevarine. 3 houses must name you Hortator. My servant, Nabane Mesa, shall be your guide. And when you are Hortator and Nerevarine, when you have stood before the false gods and freed the heart from its prison, heal my people and restore Morrowind. Do this for me, and with my blessing.
Welcome, Incarnate, moon and star reborn, Hortator, Nerevarine, mourner of the tribe unmourned, redeemer of the false gods. I am Peakstar. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask and I shall answer if wisdom guides me. Pity Dagoth in the 6th house. All they do, all they are is foul and evil. But they began in brightness and honor, and the cause of their fall was their loyal service to you, Lord Nerevar. You told Lord Dagoth to guard the profane tools beneath Red Mountain, and thus he was tempted. He did your bidding when he tried to keep these tools from the tribunal, and so he hates you, who betrayed him, and the tribunal, who mocked his honor, attacked him, and stole the profane tools for their own use. Kagranak, high priest of the Dwemer, forged enchanted artifacts to steal the power of the gods. Nerevar fought the Dwemer to prevent this blasphemy, but Dagoth took these tools to make himself a god, and the tribunal took these tools to make themselves gods. Though the tribunal sought to do good with their power, they are tainted by the same corrupt desires that moved Dagoth The tribunal and Dagoth have the unnatural abilities and lifespans of gods. But they gained these things by actions that mock the gods and misuse divine power. They were ambitious and unwise, and the consequences of these ungodly acts threaten all that lives in Morrowind. You must go before the counselors of the great houses and satisfy them, for only the councils of the great houses can name you Hortator. I do not know the settled people of the great houses and can offer you no counsel. You bear the moon and star, the ring of Nerevar. None may deny. You are Nerevar reborn, the prophesied incarnate. The temple will know you as an enemy. Ordinators will mark you for death, and the tribunal faithful of the great houses will hate and fear you. The doubters of the tribes will test your strength and doubt your honor. You will be known. You must prepare and be ready. An ancestor has no trade but to guard and counsel the living kin. I will answer when I can, and with what I know. But the visions of Azura are often obscure, for 2 reasons. 1, because the future cannot be known, and choices may always be made. 2, because truth is not clear or simple. Azura's riddles warn us to think long and hard. They force us to search carefully for truth and meaning, and not to rely only on impulse and force. I am a failed incarnate. So are all these who remain here with me in the Cavern of the Incarnate. I survived the Blight, but I fell in battle with an ash vampire. I could not master the arts of war, nor could I learn the ways of the great houses. They would not have accepted me as Hortator. Take these few poor things. They are of no use to me. You must go before the Ashkans of the Wastes people and satisfy them, for only the Ashkans of the 4 tribes can name you Nerevarine. Speak first with Sulmatul of the Urshilaku, and with wise woman Nibani Maisa, for of all the Ashlanders, they are wisest in the lore of the Incarnate, and you have already shown Sulmatul proof of your worth. Welcome, Incarnate. I am Aneteria. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask, and I shall tell you my story. I am Aneteria. I was called to the prophecies, but I was not the one. An ancestor has no trade, but you are the Nerevarine. You are the Incarnate. You are the one. You must not fail. I was a holy crusader of the temple in the golden era of the tribunate. I contributed substantially to the writings that were later suppressed by the temple, and now would be called apocrypha. I followed the tribunal unquestioningly, to my regret. I never believed in the Nerevarine prophecies until it was too late. Take my humble possessions with my blessing.
Welcome, Incarnate. I am Eradan. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask, and I shall tell you my story. I saw Morrowind fall to the Empire. I lived through the humiliation of the surrender, swore hatred and vengeance against Imperial and Tribunal alike for their betrayals. In later years, I despaired and turned to Red Mountain, where I grew old and died fighting the Blight and Red Mountain monsters. Take my weapons and armor. I have no further use for them. You are the Nerevarine. You are the Incarnate. Welcome, Incarnate. I am Kanun Chodala. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask, and I shall tell you my story. I was an Ashkan. I led my people against the Akaviri, while the Cyrodiil dogs fled before them like Kaguti. I quested deep into the strongholds in Red Mountain, cleansing the unclean things in their own blood. I did not heed the counsel of the women, and to my shame, I craved glory, but never saw my real enemies. My axe and boots are yours, with my blessing.
Welcome, Incarnate. I am Idrini Nerothan. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask, and I shall tell you my story. I lived in the late years of the Tribunate, and behind the scenes I helped us demoralize, then repel the Akaviri invaders. I knew nothing of the Nerevarine or Dagoth-Ur until I took refuge with the Ashlanders. I died a fool, trying to loot ruined Kogoran. Here, take these. Maybe there's something in the world left worth stealing.
Welcome, Incarnate. I am Hort-led. I was not the one, but I wait and hope. Ask, and I shall tell you my story. I died 400 years ago, in the last days of turmoil and unrest after the Empire came to Morrowind. I was a thinker and not a doer, and though I was marked by the stars, I was not a hero. Take these things of mine. My bones won't complain.
I shall be your guide to the 7 trials on the path. The 4th trial is: a stranger's voice unites the houses. 3 halls call him Hortator. When you have been named Hortator by each of the 3 great houses of Vardenfell, come to me for further guidance, for you will have passed the 4th trial. Go to Balmora, the chief town of the Hlalu. I believe the counselors meet there in a great house with many rooms. The Hlalu are soft and cowardly, sly and greedy. Their traders are liars and cheats. Look behind the words they speak for the truths they are hiding. The Hlalu are great traders, keen for profit and subtle with words. It will be hard to find someone you can trust, perhaps impossible. You may have to fight with words to find the truth. Beware of tricks and lies. Seek behind appearances. Look for hidden power. Be wary. Be suspicious. Go to Aldrun, the chief town of the Redoran. They say the council meets under the shell of a giant emperor crab. The Redoran are proud and haughty, known as great warriors and great worshippers of the tribunal. Since they love the temple and Vivek, they cannot love you. The temple warriors hate the Nerevarine prophecies and will kill you if they see you. Be careful. I do not know the ways of the settled people, but I do know in the Council of Chiefs you must cultivate a friend and beware an enemy. Find one who is willing or who is well disposed to you. Win him and use him to win the others. And the most powerful chief, he is most likely an enemy since he loves his power and hates to share it. Recognize your enemy and prepare for him. I am told that wizards who speak for the Telvanni counselors may be found in a strange building in Sadrith Mora. The counselors themselves are ageless sorcerers, living in the towers scattered over Vardenfell and the eastern mainland. I know nothing about them, except that they are old, terrible, and evil. I do not know the ways of wizards. I have heard they honor the tests of life and death as we do. The ones who live a long time. The ones who die are forgotten. They are old and strange and terrible. I know little, but I am afraid. And that is my counsel to you. Be afraid. It is no time to be bold and careless. It is no time to hoard your treasures. With wizards, there are no second chances.
You have passed the 3rd trial. Before you lies the 4th trial and the 5th trial. I have spoken with Nibani Maisa, and I know these trials. You wish to be called Urshilaku Nerevarine. But first, would you hear the counsel of Sulmatul? Good. First, I would give you warning. When you are called Nerevarine, the word must spread, and many must hear. Your enemies will hear, and come seeking your blood. And such friends as you may have among the great houses, those who heed the words of the temple, they may forget their love for you. If you have business with the people of the houses and temple, you may wish to conduct that business first, before you are named Nerevarine. Second, I tell you, seek the counsel of wise woman Nibani Maisa, for you are an outlander and ignorant of the ways of our people. Nibani Maisa can tell you of the other tribes, of their ways, and of their ashkans. If you do not know these things, you will make many mistakes and waste precious time. That is my counsel. Now, if you wish to be named Urshilaku Nerevarine, we may speak of these things. Very well. You wish to be called Nerevarine. I know you and am disposed to do so. But first we must speak of need and duty. Before I name you Nerevarine, you must understand why a war leader is needed, so you may tell others. And before I name you Nerevarine, I must see that you know your duty. Only when we have spoken of these things shall you be called Nerevarine. Know the words of the prophecies. The curse of Dagoth-Ur and the sixth house threatens our land. The false gods lie and offer false hope of protection. You bear the moon and star of Nerevar. Azura's hand is upon you. These are the proofs you must show to all people as Urshilaku Nerevarine. You shall be Nerevarine of all the tribes, and Hortator of all the great houses. You shall eat the sin of the unmourned house, and free the false gods. You must defeat the sixth house and Dagoth-Ur. You must free the tribunal from their curse. This is the burden of prophecy. This shall be your duty as Urshilaku Nerevarine. From the unmourned house have come forth the 7 curses. The sixth house is a great evil, and a great danger to all people. This is the need. You have seen this need. You have fought the sixth house. You have known the curse of Corpus. You have harrowed Kogorun and seen the darkness that lies within. When you tell your story, others may be shown the proofs. You have learned the lies of the tribunal and the false hope they offer of protection from Dagoth-Ur. We have heard the priest's own words of the Apocrypha, and we know them to be true. We have heard the words of the dissident priests, and we know them to be true. The false gods have broken their promises and have taken up the tools of the enemy. This is a great evil and a great danger. You wear the moon and star of Nerevar. The legend of moon and star is known to all lore masters. No man but Nerevar may wear that ring and live. This is a true sign. This is a miracle, a blessing of Azura, and no man may deny it. Zainab Camp is in northeast Vardenfell, southwest of Voss Village, in the rolling plains of the Grayslands. Here, let me mark it on your map. Head southwest from Voss across the Grayslands until you strike the foothills, then head south, keeping the foothills on your right. When you pass the Dwemer ruins of Nenchuleft on the western edge of the Grayslands, you'll cross an east-west road. Zainab Camp is 8 or 10 yurts east of the hills and south of that road. The Khans of the great houses are called counselors. The Khans of House Hlalu meet in a place on a river far away. They call the place Balmora, Stonewood, in our speech. You must find these counselors and persuade them to name you Hortator. I can tell you nothing about these people. You must go there and learn for yourself. The Khans of the great houses are called counselors. The Khans of House Redoran meet in a great crab shell in a place called Aldrun. You must find these counselors and persuade them to name you Hortator. I know little of the settled people. You must go there and learn for yourself. The Khans of the great houses are called counselors. The Khans of House Telvanni meet in a very strange place, I'm told. They call it Sadrith Mora, which means forest of the mushrooms in our tongue. I have heard the Telvanni live in giant mushrooms. I'm sure it is a very bad place. But you must go and find their counselors and persuade them to name you Hortator. Yes, I have named you Urshilaku Nerevarine, war leader of the Urshilaku and protector of the people, and so you shall be known to all Ashlander tribes.
I shall be your guide to the 7 trials on the path of the Nerevarine. Ask, and I shall answer, with Azura's blessing. The Ahemusa of the Grayslands are mild and peace-loving. The wise woman of the Ahemusa, Sinamu Mirpal, is also their Ashkan. The Ashlanders of the Zainab tribe are sly and crafty. Their camp is in the interior of the Grazelands. The Erebenim Sun of Molag Mar love themselves and their weapons above all else. Their Ashkan Ulath Pal is cruel and ambitious, and his Gulakans are just like him. Their wise woman Manirai is cautious and reasonable. Seek her counsel. Don't waste your speech on the war khans.
Good day, PC class. Do you, by any chance, have plans to travel to Cyrodiil anytime soon? I'm looking for someone to assist me in delivering a letter to Haraji. He's an academic to whom I wish to offer an assistant professorship here at the college. Very well. I'll see what can be done. You cannot purchase honor with gold. Everyone can always use some extra coin. What do you need? I believe he would make an excellent addition to the faculty here. My letter outlines his offer of employment. Unfortunately, Karaji resides in the city of Anvil, and I cannot spare the time to travel there. But if you would be willing to deliver my letter to him instead, then I would pay you well regardless of whether he accepts my offer. Will you lend me and the college your aid in this matter? Thank you, PC class. We greatly appreciate your help. Here's the letter. The East Empire Company manages a ship docked in Old Ebonheart that regularly travels to Anvil. The shipmaster's name is Titus Corilex. I suggest you book passage in one of his spare cabins. Once you arrive in Anvil, any local citizen should be able to direct you to Haraji's residence.